Impact 2025 ze studia Rzeczpospolitej wita Państwa Marcin Piasecki, jest ze mną gość, pan Kenneth Campbell, dyrektor generalny Ameryka Północna i Europa, Lipton Tees and Infusions. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Dzień dobry, Marcin.
Dzień dobry. Let's talk about leadership. During the conference you participate in a discussion about leadership. What should be most important for leaders of the future?
Thank you for the question. I think the question on leadership is a very broad one, and we're living interesting times with a lot of disruption, with a lot of changes, things that are unpredicted, and the essence of leadership is to adapt and to lead the teams through difficult times. That's when leadership is really proven. But the currency is still the same. I think it is based on trust, and one principle that has followed me all my life and that remains true is the awareness that people will rise to their full potential when they feel that they are seen and valued. So that is for me the essence of how to adapt leadership in difficult times. And what's interesting, I come from a generation where in order to rise through the ranks, it was important to bring high performance, to be seen, to take the space. I think what is interesting today is that probably leadership is more and more less about how you take the space, but more how you share and you give the space to the teams.
But how does this relate to innovations? Because business needs innovation.
Absolutely. I think it is totally related to innovation, and one of the biggest disruptions everybody is talking about today is the impact of technology and artificial intelligence. I am convinced that there is a form of intelligence that is even more powerful than AI, and the name of that intelligence is collective intelligence. As a leader, when I work day to day with the teams at Lipton Tees and Infusions, if you ask me what is the thing that keeps me awake at night, I want to be sure that I am creating an environment where I am leveraging the power of collective intelligence. Creating an environment where people feel comfortable to bring their ideas. I think there is a shift, and the time for superheroes is over. When I started, I thought that my job when I started was to become the best at everything. It is not possible. The world today is much more complex, is much more challenging than it used to be, and I cannot pretend to be the one who's going to have all the ideas, who's going to have all the initiatives. My ability with my experience as a leader is how can I make sure that I leverage the human capital that I have around me, because they have a lot of ideas. There is a famous CEO who is in charge of one of the highest market cap in Europe, Novo Nordics, and Lars answered once to one of the journalists of Bloomberg saying, what do you do as a CEO to solve the problems in your company? And I think his answer was very revealing. He said, if a company like ours relies on the CEO to solve the problems, that company has a problem.
Interesting. But do you think that this type of leader is really strong leader?
I think actually this is the strongest type of leadership. The servant leadership, the leadership that puts people at the core of the business, regardless what business. I am the worldwide leader for tea, but if you're talking about technology, if you're talking about fashion, about beauty, any category, any strategy that wants to be successful needs to create an environment that makes sure that people who are in the company are willing to give their best and give their greatest performance. That's the role of leadership. And I think what was really interesting in the past years with all the disruption, we had a human lab. When you think about COVID has changed a lot of things in the way we operate that we did not think were possible. We're now talking about hybrid models. We're talking about many different ways to create ownership in a company. And the only reason why we were able to adapt was because we listened to the teams. So I think more and more, to be a future fit organization, it's important to put people at the core of what we do. I always say we take decisions with our head, but we lead with our heart.
And does this type of leadership allow you to attract the best talent to your company?
Definitely. I think there's a lot of talk about psychological safety, and people don't understand that always properly because they think it's about being nice. It's not about being nice. What people want, they want high standards. They want high expectations. And that's exactly the combination I try to implement every day at Lipton. Raise the standards and the expectations on my team to shoot for excellence, but with a caring, with a human side at the same time. And I have to say I'm very, very happy, particularly to be in Poland. It's our biggest subsidiary when I look at the size of the team, the number of people that we have in Europe. We have roughly 600 people working for us. We have a factory in Katowice with 350 people. We have a commercial team in Warsaw. And we have even created a European hub that is managing all the back office of the company in Europe for all the other markets, because we found that the quality of the talent that we have in Poland is exceptional. We have people who want to improve, who want to get better, who want to show what they are able to do, who are highly educated. So it's important to create a culture that is inclusive, that values the difference. Again, making sure that people are seen and valued. I used to be very active in sports, and there was a famous sports coach who summarized the principles of leadership in a very simple way. 3 things. You have to make the right choice. Doing what is right is not always the easiest, but it's important. Second, you have to give your best. If you try your best, even if the results are not there, at least you can be proud of the performance. And last but not least, show people that you care.
And what is the main, most important result of this type of operations of leadership?
I think the most important result is to create a team that is collaborative, that shares ideas, and the second most important one is have a team that is agile. In times of crisis, in times of disruption, it is important not to stay rooted in the fundamentals without adapting to the latest trends. It's important to be fast. So again, something that we all know from old age, sometimes the best is the enemy of the good. I shoot for the best, but I make sure that at least we do good.
And I think that it works in Lipton.
It works really well. I have to say Lipton is the worldwide leader in tea. Lipton in Poland is the #1 tea brand as well. And year after year, we went through a massive disruption. We used to belong to a big multinational company, Unilever. We are now owned for the past 2.5 years by a private equity fund, a very strong European fund called CVC Capital Partners. And I think the private equity dimension has brought something even stronger to the leadership of this company, which is ownership. I think to be a successful leader nowadays, more and more, it's not just about the trust, it's also about the purpose. People will not wake up in the morning and give their best performance just to make us rich. They want to make sure that what they're doing matters, that they're making a difference, that they have an impact. And one of the best examples that I can be proud of in the company is the work that the Polish team for Lipton is doing.
So, thank you for interview. Moim gościem był pan Kenneth Campbell, dyrektor generalny Ameryka Północna i Europa, Lipton Tees and Infusions.